And your topic that we were talking about was things I wish I knew before we got into real estate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is always a fun one. So now we've been working for a couple of years together. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and we jotted down a couple of things. And you talk to a lot of real estate agents throughout the day. I talk to a lot of real estate agents also. And one of the biggest things that I hear and you hear from real estate agents is leads are terrible.
Yeah.
They hate leads.
Leads, yeah. If I wanted to do telemarketing, I would have sold Kirby's.
Yeah.
I would have did something like that,
Yes. Yeah.
Or reached you for your car's extended warranty.
So I think we could all say the same thing. Is like, I wish my broker told me in the beginning how terrible leads were and calling leads back.
Yeah.
Why is that, you think?
I don't think they tell you that because I think, the model set up for real estate right now is agent acquisition. It's like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
They're not, what I see is that they don't have the agent's best interest in mind. It's more acquisition. I know you talk about this a lot. So that's why they don't tell you what to really expect when you join a team. But there is a tremendous difference out there. You just have to search between leads and actually qualified and vetted appointments.
Right. Well, customers, right? So
exactly.
I don't even say appointments anymore. I say just like customers. People are like, listen, I got into real estate because I want to work with people.
Certainly.
And I found out that it's like 99% chasing the next lead or the next deal. And I think too, people get so caught up with the number of leads they get. Like I get 100 leads a day at my brokerage.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how good are those leads? Are they turning into customers?
Well, what did we learn, right? We've talked about this for a while, the data. I mean, we have an inside sales team. What we found is that the average lead does business with you between the 6th and 12th contact.
Right.
Do you have an opportunity selling what you hope to do in a year to stay in contact with 100 leads a day, or if that's what you were getting, all year for 6 to 12 contacts?
Yeah. Well, you can buy the leads from Zillow. How does that go? Or Realtor.com.
Yeah, you still got to convert them.
Yeah. And that's where a lot of people lose attraction is like how many things, which was the other thing, is a time commitment. Like how much time they have to put into converting business from now to follow-up business or whatever it is. So, that's a really big thing we have to look at. And thank you guys for joining us. We've seen the numbers pop up there. But, how much time you got to spend selling real estate? So, Chris, how many hours? So, we got about 16 agents on the team now.
Yep.
We'll sell 500 houses this year with 16 agents.
Middle of COVID.
In the middle of COVID. How many hours a week do you think the average agent on our team works?
I would say 40, maybe 45, give or take.
Some more, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody's goals are different, right? Some agents are happy selling 30 houses, that's what the average agent on our team does, while we have some agents on our team who have sold 17 and 19 in a month.
Yeah.
So it's really what that person wants.
What does the average agent sell a year?
Between 2 and 4.
Yeah.
You're pretty high up there in the percentile if you do it. But what I find is when I meet with those people, here's what the kicker, right? They're selling 2 to 4 houses, but when I ask them, now are those clients that your brokerage provided you in return for a generous split? Mm-hmm. The answer is no. It's my SOI.
Yes.
It's my SOI business, my sphere of influence, my friends, my family. And I say to them, okay, so you're really not getting nothing for the split.
Yeah.
Why not take your SOI to a company that's going to provide you with customers, and you could 10 times what you do in a year?
Right. Well, that's it. It's a number of leverage of what you could do. Like, so between what my mentors always told me is like, between me and the homeless guy on the bench, we all have the same number of hours in the day.
Yeah.
It's what you choose to do with those hours and how you can leverage them. So if you look at people that are out there working really hard, you still can only work so many hours a day without either giving up or cheating on your family and taking time away from them.
Yeah, that's huge.
So how we can leverage that. So like on our team, we leverage that with a whole admin staff.
Yeah.
Right. So the agents aren't running around putting signs on front lawn. They're not taking pictures of houses.
Sure.
We have somebody on the team that does that for them. They're not putting things in MLS. So the agents on our team are focusing exactly on
what they're good at.
Selling houses.
Which is why they got into real estate in the first place. Listen, I got into it. I didn't want to prospect and cold call. I didn't want to be a professional photographer. I got into real estate. I wanted 2 things, work-life balance, and I wanted to work with motivated buyers and sellers and help them accomplish their goals. what the first thing we notice is when they first start out is the first thing to go is the work-life balance.
Yes.
You know,
we see the work-life balance goes out the window, which comes to the next topic we talked about was ROI. So if we talk about, sorry, things are popping up audio-wise out here. Our ROI into real estate is like how many hours that you put into real estate versus what you get out of it. So you do this exercise a lot of times, the ROI with clients out there.
Yep.
What do you see? What do you see happen to them?
Yeah, so most of the agents I meet with, they do, anywhere from 2 homes a year to, up to 10 roughly. They want more. They don't realize there's more out there. But what we do is when we break down what it takes for the amount of hours to work to reach 2 to 10 houses, their hourly worth, it comes out to be in the single digits, like $8 an hour, roughly, like $8 or $9 an hour. Real estate, it's not a 9 to 5 job. You work,
it's like 5 to 9.
Yeah. And then maybe once in a while, the 11 o'clock client who calls you. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, the minimum wage, and we do a breakdown to do that, and it's pretty eye opening to the agents. Yeah, and it's not to shame them, but I think a lot of it is just naive. They don't realize.
Well, I think the broker should have that conversation with the agent.
Yes.
In the beginning, that's why I said things I wish my broker talked to you about. Yeah. I think that was your topic that you came up with.
Yeah.
Things I wish my broker would up to. I didn't. My father wasn't my broker, but he was in real estate, so he taught me a lot of things. And one of the first things he taught me, doesn't matter how much money you make, Nathan.
It's what goes in your pocket.
It's how much you take home.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of these new agents, or a lot of agents still, I've seen so many agents so proud of what they do, and they should be.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you spend $100,000 to make $100,000,
made zero.
You made zero.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not about what the split is at the brokerage.
Yeah.
It's not about that, right? It's about the return on investment.
Exactly.
And Tony Robbins taught me this, right? What's the ROI? Rich people look at the return on investment. They don't look at the cost.
Absolutely.
Poor people look at the cost.
Yes.
Right. What's the cost? It's not
value.
The cost.
Value.
It's what my return on investing in this will get.
Yep.
And I think it's the same thing with brokerages. What do you get in return?
Yep.
Okay. The other thing is the culture, right?
Yeah, huge.
How important is culture at the business that you work at?
So it is an interesting topic. We talked about actually the last time I met with some agents, a group. What we talked about is brokerages are usually designed where it's either good culture and poor opportunity, or it's good opportunity, poor culture. Very rarely do you see a brokerage that has both, right? Oh, I do good, I make a decent money, but I'm afraid to leave my paperwork on the copy machine because my peers might steal it.
Yes.
I want to hide my bias, it's crazy. So, I mean, I think, listen, I made a jump from a completely different career to come work for you. It's been rewarding. My family has definitely, it's changed my life. But the two things that I think that have always been in line was my work-life balance, in culture, in the office with the people I work with. They're some of my best friends. And I think it's because everybody really, truly cares about the person that they're playing on the side of. And it's the opportunity, money.
Yeah. Well, it's the opportunity there, it's the opportunity to build quality lives. I believe that's really what our calling is how much we can give back. And if you're just worried about other people and how they make out, you'll never have to worry about yourself.
Can't never go broke investing in other people.
Right. And so just invest in other people. And real estate is just that in essence, is you're helping people make one of the biggest purchases of their life, change their life for the rest of their life, improve their lives.
Yeah.
And the more you can help people, you'll never have to worry about the bottom line at the end of the day by doing that. And so I think that's very important to remember. And to do out there, and that's what's great about real estate. That's what I love about doing it. And working with a team is very rewarding because, listen, some people it's all about them. They love it to be all about them, and that's fine. But that only comes and goes. That only lasts for so long.
Sure.
When you really want to help other people and bring other people up also, because it does get lonely at the top.
Yeah.
That's why you got to bring people up there with you.
Well, it's funny you say this. So I was just thinking about this as you were saying that. When you look at a year like this year's been, so many challenges, so many tribulations, for us to go and make a huge quantum leap in the amount of business that we've done this year, there's a reason why people reach out to our company, our brokerage, to assist them in buying and selling, which they do. They contact us. It's because I think our core values to build quality lives, to trust us in the middle of a pandemic and all these uncertainties, to help them make the biggest decision of their life. I mean, I think just speaks volumes about core values. While you see a lot of other brokerages, their numbers are down.
Yeah, well, I think it's people. I think it's the people that you surround yourself with. Is very important, and that comes into the mentality of who we look for on our team, which is very different from how most brokerages are. You know, there's nothing wrong with being hungry and wanting to do great and wanting to work hard. You know, so that's, I think, is something that we all align with here, is that we're always embracing change. We're always lifting others up, okay? And we're constantly trying to improve ourselves and make ourselves better.
Yeah.
And I think you hang out with people like that, you're going to get better.
You taught me that. Yep. You said you could tell a lot about a person by the 3 or 4 people? 5 people that are around them.
Birds go to bed with bats.
Yes.
They wake up upside down. So
never woken up upside down.
Yeah, so but man, you hang out with people, right? Yeah. You're going to stop flying higher or lower. Yeah. We see that with our kids. I mean, you're not going to let your daughter hang out with the wrong crowd.
Exactly.
You know who the wrong crowd is.
Certainly.
The same things in real estate. You know, if you're working at a real estate company that's, hey, we're just going to do the stuff that worked 30 years ago, where do you think your business is going to go?
Sure.
If you're hanging out with people selling 3 or 4 houses a year, how many houses do you think you're going to sell?
Yeah, exactly.
If your mentor sells 3 or 4 houses a year, how many houses do you think you're going to sell?
You're paying him.
Right.
You're paying him for the top of the line training.
Yes. So. Yeah, that's always the best is we'll do those things. And it's, you know, so those are really things that I kind of learned in 18 years of doing it. The other thing we had up here was the lulls of real estate.
Yeah.
What do you mean by the lulls? Because that was yours.
Yeah. So basically, you know, you get an agent who sells, 2 to 4 houses, maybe even a little bit more. Let's say they have a really good month, right? They put, a few people under PNS, help them find a home. The next, because they're doing so many tasks, right? They're building the foundation of the house. They're doing the electrical. They're doing the. I
was losing you for a minute there when you were saying, "What are you talking about?
Yeah.
How, you building a house?"
Yeah, they're doing so many tasks that they spend that next month because nothing closes right away, right? So the next month they're spent doing all those minute tasks, then closing, and then now they're back to prospecting. 3 months go by, and it takes away from the time to prospect. So what happens is you'll see them, they'll sell 2 houses, and then the next 3 months they didn't do any. Then they're back up to 2. Then they have to close those 2. And it's a rat race. I think by having the right people in the position, freeing you to do the things that you got into real estate in the first place for, it's going to allow you to sell more homes.
Well, you can go to my website, sellmorehomesnow.info. And you can find out more information now that you said the tagline there. But yes, it's what we call as a roller coaster. Feast to famine. It's up and down. Like, I sold the house, didn't sell anything. Sold the house, didn't sell anything. Listen, 80% of people out of the business within like 12 months for a reason is they can't make enough income. And they get chasing these flash in the pan, companies that, hey, we'll give you 100% of our commission. Whoa. How can you give me 100% of my commission? What are you, a charity? How are you keeping the lights on?
Yeah, exactly.
How are you doing these things? Well, also, I think what a lot of people miss, especially I missed when I first got in the industry, is listen, if that's what those companies are offering, it really gives you a mindset of how that company works and what's really most important to that company. It's not about selling houses with the company. It's about agent acquisition. Yeah. We want to rent out space, or we want to charge you for marketing plans, or nickel and dime you for copies or stuff like that. They're not in the business of selling houses. The market should know that, right?
Yep.
And also, if you're going to work for that company, well, then what do you think you're going to get in for return? Do you think they really care if you sell a house or not?
Yeah, exactly. There's agents that I meet with that haven't sold anything, and it costs them to go to work. I mean, like, imagine going to your job every day, not making a living for your family, and still paying money to your boss. It just never made sense to me, and I think a lot of people, because they're passionate when they get into real estate, I really want those 80% of those people who get out of the business. I want to be in front of them.
I do, but I think it's like is 20% of the business is done by 80% of the agents out there.
Yep.
80% of the business is done by just 20% of the agents out there.
Sure.
And I would say that's even more refined, right? I would say it's like 95% of the business is done by 5% of the agents, and 5% of the agents do 95% of the business.
Oh, yeah.
So
absolutely.
It's just the 5% that are hungry to go out there and do that. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's probably a good 10, 15% more that are hungry, hardworking people that really want to make a good income. Yeah. They just haven't found us yet.
And those are the people that I want to get in front of. I want them to see the other side of real estate, that, the things that they should have asked, we could show you what we do to answer those questions. Because I don't want to see somebody to give up on their dreams to have a quality life, get out of the business when you might have been really, really good at, as an agent.
What stops, you think, most agents from contacting us to talk about?
All right. I got this actually the other day. I didn't want to talk to Nathan because I heard bad things. He's the devil.
He's the devil.
He's the devil.
Ha!
He's the devil. Yeah. Listen, here's the deal. All right. If you're hearing that, the good news is if you met with us, we're not supplying you appointments with your broker or other agents. I'm supplying you appointments with customers. Okay.
Yes.
So what's more important?
Yeah. Well, I think, listen, I get it. Is if you're hearing that, it's just jealous and scared people out there.
Yeah.
That's the only way they could defend is, that happens. Listen, I know the top producers across America.
Yeah.
We're ranked the top 100 in the country. I know the top 100 agents.
Reviews.
Yeah, I know these. So they say the same thing across it. When people are scared of things they don't understand, it's just it's the devil.
We talk about this all the time. It's no different when you meet with the buyer or seller. Objection is it's when there's absence of value.
Right.
That person bad-mouthing other people might not have anything to bring to the table for you as an agent, so it's easier to defame somebody.
Yes, well, that's what they do. They sit there. So, but that'll stop them from doing that. But I think that person that's that scared of what people think, what people say, I don't know if they fit our culture anyways, because, I'll be honest with you, maybe I've learned this over the years. The more you did that to somebody, the more intrigued I'd be about the person. Yeah. I want to find more about the person, do that. But I get that a lot because I'll talk to people, they'll join the team, and then they'd be like, Nathan, I thought you were the devil. And then they come on, and then they'd be like, but you're such a nice guy. Yeah. It's like, that's just your scared broker trying to stop you from contacting us.
Hey, if you're motivated and you want a rewarding life and have work-life balance, listen, it costs you nothing to have a conversation with me, but it costs you everything to not have that conversation.
Well, I think you just go on our website, go to sellmorehomes.now.info.
Yep.
And just look at our success stories out there.
A lot of information on there.
But look at the agents that come on. They're like, I was selling 2 houses a year. I sold 15 houses in 3 months here.
Yep.
I love it. You know? And so, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. But, we're not looking for, I always say, we're not looking to be the Navy, right? And no offense to the Navy. Just want to put that disclosure on there. But we're not looking to be the Navy where we're just a huge Navy. And when I say the Navy, I don't say the U.S. Navy. I'm saying like the Iranian Navy. We're not
have one? Isn't that desert?
We're trying to be the Navy SEALs, all right?
All right.
So we're not trying to be, 1,000 agents like some of these brokerage warehouses.
We're not into acquisition.
If your broker has 1,000 agents, there is no way there's any service going to you because you can't manage 1,000 agents.
Yeah.
Right? We're trying to be the Navy SEALs. Like we have 16 agents. They all we'll sell 500 houses with those 15, 16 agents this year. They're selling like 30 houses, 40, 50, 60 houses sometimes a piece.
Yep. Still going on vacations.
And the most agents, like we just had Frank, he sold 17 houses in 3 weeks. Yeah. And then went on vacation for a week.
Yeah.
Right? Because we give them an admin staff to be able to handle that so the customer has a good experience. Okay. Yeah. That the agent could do what they're good at is selling, not banging signs in the front lawn.
Sure.
But listen, everything different. Everything different out there when it starts. Things are different and it's crazy. Yesterday was Christopher Columbus Day. So, when Christopher Columbus came here to America, the Native Americans were the devil, I get it. It's different. People get it. But I don't think that stops a lot of people.
No, I think it just takes time.
I just wonder how many people are really hungry, like, and determined to do good out there.
Yep.
And maybe that's one of the things that we look at is trying to attract more hungry, determined people, or maybe we're just too picky of the people that we bring on the team.
I don't think so. I think it's important. I understand that we're not always the right fit for everybody, but I do think that there are a lot of agents out there who choose to do this part-time because they don't see the opportunity in front of them. My job is to show you that there is an opportunity. So you can't make a decision unless you have all the information. Yeah. And most of the people I'm talking to don't have all the information, or else these questions would have been asked.
Yeah, well, we're trying to help them quantum leap their business. And what we've documented over the last 18 years of me doing this, is on average, we increase the agent's income by 400%. It's
crazy.
So they come here and they make 400% more money than they made before they came here. That's amazing.
It is.
Right.
It's quality lives, and that's our mission.
And they work the same or less than they were working before they came in there. Now, I don't say that. It's not like they're not hard working. They're very hard working. Yeah. Right? They're working very hard doing it, but they're working very hard doing the things that they're good at.
That they wanted to do in the first place.
Right. They got in the business the first place to do was help people buy and sell real estate, not enter MLS documents into MLS.
Yeah.
Right, and do that stuff. So.
Yep.
Well, hopefully we got a good viewership on this, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this video, do me a favor, share it on your Facebook page. Check out sellmorehomesnow.info, or you can give me a call at 232-7661. I'd love to talk to you more. Chris will talk to you.
Absolutely.
Any of our team members will talk to you. I appreciate everybody watching. My name is Nathan Clark. This is Chris Berard. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for watching. Everybody have a great day. Talk to you soon.